Thank y'all for tuning back in to your favorite channel, Pelican Bay Dog Talk and News for the day, giving it to you the way I always do, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Man, y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit it. Go ahead and hit it now like I always tell you. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well and drop down in the comments. Want to send a big salute to all the dog lovers and bulldog lovers from one side of the country to the other side of the world. Like I always say, let's get into that dog talk and news for the day. I'm going to start it off by talking about we got a stolen dog in D.C. D.C. police looking for a stolen dog. October the 22nd, the dog was stolen off the 3800 block of 9th Street in D.C. So D.C. police is looking for that dog, and I'm going to show y'all a picture of the dog real quick. It don't make no sense. Folk can't keep their hands on their stuff. 2023. Maybe it'll get better, man. Maybe it'll get better. And I want to say happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. From one side of the country to the other side, from one side of the world to the other side. Big salutes to all the vets. Big salute to my brother. You know what I'm saying? Vet, big salute to Samurai Kennel. Big salute to Track Life Kennel. You know what I'm saying? All the vets out there, man. Big salute to y'all brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate y'all services. Appreciate y'all services. Hold on, I'm gonna light one up on that one, man. I'm gonna light one up. When it comes to going on vacation, finding a place for your dog while you're on vacation, or just going out of town and leaving the dog enough food in his feeder to eat while you're gone. We have different ways to try to cater to our out-of-town needs, but at the same time, you have folk who does the exact opposite of my brothers down in the chat or my sisters down in the chat. They do the exact opposite. They have to leave the dog in the house, leave, and come back whenever they decide to come back with no food, no water left for the dog. The dog just got to, survive for himself until they get back. You have people just like that. You know what I'm saying? Where you might look at something and say, man, I'll never do something like that. The next person doing it, they doing it. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. This next story we're going to get into, the first story rather we're going to get into, we got a woman who left the dog home, I guess a week or so by himself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the wrong things, but you know how PBK9s do it. I'm going to give it to you fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. When you're leaving home and you got them animals, you got them pets, it's best to find a pet sitter, a boarding kennel, or something if you're gonna be gone for that long a period of time. I mean, at the end of the day, if you ain't gonna come back, hey, leave him at the boarding place. Just don't come back to pick him up. If you gonna treat him like that, you know what I'm saying? At least he'll be taken care of, is what I'm saying. At least there'll be somebody there to take care of him. You don't ever come back for him. They can call you. But at least the dog will be getting taken care of. You know what I'm saying? All you be left with is a bill, But let's get into this story, man. Woman leaves dog for a week.
Woman is in jail facing drug and animal abuse charges. As WKRG News 5's Whitney Leibold reports, she left her dogs alone for far too long.
Yeah, Gabriella Salas of Daphne was booked into the Baldwin County Jail on Friday after leaving her pets for over a week. Empty food bowls and feces is what Daphne police walked into Salas' house on Windsor Drive Friday after a family member called for a welfare check.
When they were able to enter the house, a family member allowed them in. They were able to see that there was piles of feces, open garbage, rotten food. So pretty bad living conditions for human or animal.
Officers say 3 dogs were left in this Lake Forest home for more than a week. The conditions? Filthy.
When we went to serve the warrant for the animal cruelty, they saw drug paraphernalia and stuff, and that's where the drug charge came from.
And as for the 3 dogs, they have been taken to the Daphne Animal Shelter and are recovering well. In Daphne, Whitney Leibel, WKRG News 5.
All right, now this episode of Crooks Uncovered, we're going to go on the other side of the world. We're going to Australia, you know what I'm saying, on this episode of Crooks Uncovered. But first I want to say, you know, money is a mug, you know what I'm saying? Money is a MFer. Because see, as we know, when it comes to the justice system, some folk can pay their way out of it, and some folk can't, you know what I'm saying? And some folk got money and still can't pay their way out of it. It just depends on, sometimes like it says, who you know. You know what I'm saying? It's all about who you know. It ain't all about what you got all the time. Sometimes it may be, but then it's about who you know. You know what I'm saying? In this particular situation, we can call her a Australian, excuse me. We can call her a Australian, not necessarily a dog kingpin, but she's a dog kingpin, just not a pit bull kingpin. You know what I'm saying? She's a kingpin in her own right. You know, kingpin in her own right. South Australia. Year after year after year, she's beating cases like the Teflon Don, John Gotti. You know what I'm saying? Beating cases. Animal abuse, beating it. Animal abuse, beating it. Getting more dogs. Tell her don't get no dogs. She go right back get more dogs. You know, go right back get more. Shout out to, hey, she doing the same thing like the brother Buck say. You tell me I ain't getting no dogs, I'm gonna get what I want. You tell her she ain't getting no dogs, she gonna get what she want, is what she said. And take them to the door, take them to trial and beating them. But they got her again. And like I said, this episode of Crooks Uncovered, you know, we gonna take it to the other side of the world. You know, South Australia, where we got a raid that was ran on a breeder probably for the 6th or 7th time. You know what I'm saying? For the 6th or 7th time. And they finally, I want to say, I'm going to let you look at the video because I don't want to tell it all. You know what I'm saying? But I can't remember if she got time or if she didn't get time. But y'all check the video out. South Australian breeder, kingpin, Teflon Don does it again.
Has now been charged with breaching the court ban on owning too many animals. Kerry Fitzpatrick was limited to 2 dogs when she was spared jail for 16 animal cruelty charges in August. But a raid on her property last month found 86 dogs, and it appeared they were being used for breeding, which would also be a breach of court orders. The 48-year-old's been ordered to face a magistrate again tomorrow.
May 2015. The Oscars law team was in court to witness Kerry Fitzpatrick being found guilty of 68 charges relating to the Domestic Animals Act and fined $40,000 with a conviction recorded. Dogs were found in appalling and inadequate conditions, as well as being kept in undersized pens. Fitzpatrick also admitted in court that she did not pay tax on the income she earned selling puppies. RSPCA Victoria seized all the dogs. Kerry and her then-partner Colin Ross moved to another property in Victoria, 550 acres in Bridgewater, and simply started once again. Kerry Fitzpatrick was again back in court, this time facing 41 charges relating to the Victorian Domestic Animals Act. Council had found dogs of various breeds with inadequate water, living in feces-covered pens and with various medical conditions. Fitzpatrick was convicted and fined $45,000 and ordered to pay $13,206 in court costs. Kerry Fitzpatrick appealed the case and lost. In July 2017, Fitzpatrick was again convicted of cruelty after 36 dogs were seized from her property in 2015. The dogs' living conditions were appalling and many dogs suffered severe psychological damage due to lack of handling, poor living conditions, and lack of socialization. Fitzpatrick refused to surrender the dogs. However, the court imposed a 10-year banning order and the dogs were all eventually rehomed. Once again relocated, this time to South Australia, Kerry Fitzpatrick purchased a property in Lameroo and stocked it with 300 dogs. Banning orders and court-imposed orders issued in Victoria are not recognised interstate, a loophole that allows convicted cruel puppy farmers to move interstate once convicted in order to start again. In 2018, RSPCA South Australia launched an investigation into Kerry Fitzpatrick and Colin Ross after raiding their puppy factory and seizing dogs and puppies. In fact, conditions were so bad that the local council emailed Kerry Fitzpatrick, warning her that she was breaching the South Australian Public Health Act. The dogs were severely traumatized. Early in 2019, after the RSPCA raided the Lameroo puppy factory and seized some dogs, a disinformation campaign was started by some of Kerry Fitzpatrick's supporters incorrectly stating that RSPCA were going to return, seize dogs and have them all killed. This was blatantly untrue and was specifically designed as a distraction from what was about to happen. Fitzpatrick surrendered some dogs to rescue in order to play into the disinformation campaign, but the majority of the dogs were loaded into dog trailers and driven all the way to a Queensland puppy factory owned by Fitzpatrick's associates. These QLD puppy farmers had relocated from Victoria after new legislation was introduced in 2017. The transport of these dogs took many days and inflicted even more distress on already traumatized dogs. Whilst the disinformation campaign continued, we followed the dogs to QLD and reported the properties to our SPCA QLD. They raided these properties, seized dogs, and the owners were charged. Fitzpatrick made her way back to South Australia and both her and Colin Ross were eventually charged. Late 2021, early 2022, Kerry Fitzpatrick sold one of her properties in Victoria and purchased a second property in South Australia and continued to operate a puppy factory. Plead guilty to 10 counts of animal mistreatment and 6 counts of failure to comply with animal welfare notice, and was fined over $8,000 with conviction recorded. Colin Ross was also prohibited from owning dogs other than 4 desexed dogs. And the case went to trial. 2023 August 1, Kerry Fitzpatrick was found guilty on 16 animal cruelty charges and sentenced to 3 months imprisonment, suspended on a $500 good behavior bond, ordered to pay costs of over $20,000 and fined $5,000. RSPCA South Australia and SA Police raid Kerry Fitzpatrick's Lewiston puppy factory. A new investigation has now been launched. 2023 November 7th, Kerry Fitzpatrick is charged with failing to comply with court order and hinder or obstruct an inspector in exercise of powers. Case adjourned until December 7, 2023.
Murray Mallee puppy farmer who kept more than 300 dogs in squalid conditions has been found guilty of serious animal cruelty. Despite already being convicted and banned from owning animals interstate, a legal loophole meant she was able to continue offending here.
Desperate to hide her face from the public eye, Kerry Fitzpatrick convicted of 16 counts of animal cruelty on a property in the Murray Mallee.
Why are you hiding your face? Are you ashamed of what you've done?
300 dogs were kept in appalling conditions with room for less than 100. There was inadequate shelter and bedding, insufficient water, enclosures covered in faeces. Many of the animals were distressed, anxious and fearful. The court heard the 47-year-old has at least 2 previous convictions in Victoria and is banned from keeping animals there for 20 years. But with no cross-border approach to animal cruelty, Fitzpatrick simply packed up shop in Victoria and moved to South Australia.
A vet who visited the property said the conditions severely impacted on the dog's mental health. Up to 80% of them were frightened of unfamiliar people, some were in a panicked state, while others completely shut down and hid in their kennels.
At least 2 of the dogs were rescued, nursed back to health and rehomed. Fitzpatrick's co-offender Colin Ross pleaded guilty in 2019 and copped a fine, but she maintains her innocence.
What we are going to find out is whether there are grounds of appeal, and I haven't had a chance yet to read the judgment, but no doubt we'll be scrutinising it very closely.
Deanna Williams, 7 News.
Walking from court a free woman, Kerry Fitzpatrick handed a 3-month suspended sentence for keeping 300 dogs on a breeding farm in horrific conditions.
Kerry, what do you have to say about what you did to those dogs?
Wrong.
RSPCA officers raiding Fitzpatrick's puppy factory near Lameroo in October 2018. Body cam footage showing the squalid conditions, dogs shoved into just 88 enclosures. Some makeshift pens conditions piled with mud and feces, with inadequate shelter and water. The appalling conditions leaving many dogs fearful and anxious, with 8 eventually euthanised.
These dogs show behaviours of just not coping with people.
The court previously hearing Fitzpatrick had multiple convictions in Victoria, where she was handed a 10-year ban on working as a breeder, before moving to South Australia to do the same thing.
Kerry, what would you like to say?
In sentencing, the magistrate told Fitzpatrick she had not learnt the lessons she should have from her Victorian convictions. And if anyone should have been obsessed with not being involved in a dog selling business, it was you.
Patrick has also been fined $5,000 and has now been banned from owning any other animals besides the 2 dogs, rabbits and birds already in her possession.
The RSPCA hoping the sentence serves as a warning to others who do the wrong thing.
We believe that it's, a deterrent for people that are considering breeding dogs for profit and not doing it in a way that has the animal's best interests at heart.
Kelly Hughes, 9 News.
See, all the time it's not always about, what a person did with the dogs. A lot of times when it comes to these brothers getting in trouble with these dogs, it's because of the other things that they got going on with the dogs. Like I said before, how many news articles have I did in the last 2 years, brothers and sisters, where brothers got their dogs taken, where they didn't have anything else involved with it. The brothers that you seen that had stuff that didn't have anything involved with besides dogs, they get their dogs back, or either they win their cases, one or the other. You only see that the bad, like brothers not winning the cases, brothers going to jail about this and about that. When it comes to the dogs, because all the other stuff that's added inside when it comes to it, and that, even though the woman in Australia is in a whole different country where they got entirely different laws, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the dogs, it's a whole lot simpler to handle your case or handle anything you doing if you ain't got all that other stuff involved with it. You know what I'm saying? When you got all that other stuff involved with it, you can't handle the dogs, and you just gonna fall into the system. You see? And like I said, sometimes it's about how much money you got, and it's about who you know with how much money you got. Because you can have all the money you want in the world, if you don't know the right people, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes, I guess sometimes if you got money, the right people will find you. The right people will find you. But yeah, man, I want to send a big shout out to all my brothers down in the chat, all my sisters down in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all, like I said, I hope y'all having a good vet day, good Saturday. We're going to keep that thing going. I'm going to drop that Saturday night live tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to have any special guests on it or not, and I actually wasn't even going to do it because I'm doing my training thing right now, and I'm really more focused on that, you know what I'm saying, than doing my show, but I got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we're gonna get back to it as soon as I finish what I gotta handle, you know what I'm saying. All right, let's keep this thing going like we always do. Now, this next story, it's we gonna talk about it like this right here, right? When we all know we have them neighbors that we just can't get along with sometimes. Them neighbors that just mind your business when they ain't supposed to be minding your business. Okay, well, I'm gonna start this one off by telling a little story. Since Veterans Day, my brother was telling me about like when they was, overseas in Iraq and stuff like that. They doing their raids and stuff. Sometimes they would play American music on the loudspeakers. Play American music on the loudspeakers. The Iraqi brothers, they didn't know, they couldn't understand it, and they didn't know what it was. All they knew was just playing loud, and make them go crazy. It just drives them crazy, you know what I'm saying? Especially when they couldn't understand what it was talking about. And it can be a rap song. It can be Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, Jeezy, whoever, Bone Crusher or whatever. But they playing it loud, and it drives them Iraqis crazy when they're doing the raids. See, on this next situation, we got a neighbor whose husband was locked up because of a dog situation, but the wife didn't agree with it. And her way of protesting the situation, one of her ways of protesting the situation, to her neighbor, because she said her neighbor was, got him arrested. Her way of protesting was turn her music up full blast, full blast. And she played it for about, what a woman in the video gonna tell you about, I think she played it about a couple weeks or a month straight, every day, for about 12 hours a day or 9 hours a day, full throttle, the same song over and over and over and over again to aggravate her neighbor. But I'm gonna let y'all get into the story. It's just neighbors dispute. The neighbors dispute be some of the worst disputes sometimes. That's when people get killed, when it comes to neighbor disputes, sometimes. But let's get into this video right here. Neighbor dispute, woman plays music to aggravate neighbor.
Dispute between neighbors in Goshen has intensified, with the husband and wife now both facing charges. News 12's Blaise Gomez has the exclusive report.
Eric Flores was arrested in March for animal cruelty, but says he was falsely accused by a neighbor.
This case will be done with because I proved that none of these allegations were true.
Flores' wife, Gabby Abar, put up these signs on their lawn on Knoll Road in Goshen, professing his innocence. She was also arrested last month for allegedly blasting loud music for weeks to allegedly annoy Janet Hughes, the woman they feel is to blame.
It was horrific. She played the same song over and over and over again for 9 to 10 hours a day.
Hughes says she didn't call the SPCA on Flores and doesn't want any problems. She says she feels threatened by the lyrics in the music and the signs. Flores says they feel victimized.
They're saying it's loud. I'm saying it wasn't loud.
How do you see this ending, Eric?
How do I see it ending? I want it to be over with. I want the police to do their job.
Police charged Abar with stalking, harassment, and disorderly conduct. Prosecutors say the animal cruelty case against Flores is ongoing. In Goshen, Blaise Gomez, News 12.
Well, Goshen officials say Flores and Abar were told that the signs on their lawn are a traffic concern and to move them 25 feet away from the road, which the couple says they did.
Now we got to go all the way down to South Florida, where we got a couple that's fighting to get their dogs back after a drug and an animal cruelty arrest. Do you think folks deserve to have their animals back if they have an animal cruelty and the drug don't have nothing to do with the animal, but animal cruelty. So, and there's no telling what they got the animal cruelty for, because we all know that you can get an animal cruelty charge and your dog look totally healthy. It's all about how them people feeling that day, what them people come there for one, and did they get what they come there for, two, and, everybody animal cruelty different. The animal cruelty is a very large spectrum when it comes to the dogs that they charge. And they charge him with animal cruelty. He got a dog that's he being cruel to the dog. They charge him with animal cruelty because he didn't have clean water the day that they came and do the raid. He didn't have clean water, so they charge him with animal cruelty, which both animal cruelties are totally different. You know what I'm saying? It's just how them folk feeling that day. They might charge you with animal cruelty because you got a chain on your dog, a certain kind of chain, and you might be in a place where they got chain laws, and then they find out you got your dog on the chain. Now you get animal cruelty. Yeah, but you got animal cruelty just off of default, just because you're not following the rules, when this other person over here got animal cruelty because they being cruel to the animal, but it's still one charge. They don't say, they just say animal cruelty. They don't tell you what you did to it, But these folk right here fighting to get their dogs back, you know what I'm saying? Can't really have no opinion on that. Just gotta let you check it out.
Well, a South Florida couple busted for drugs and animal cruelty is now fighting to get their dogs back.
Prosecutors argue they were running an illegal puppy mill out of their home. Local 10's Christian De La Rosa is live in Fort Lauderdale with the story. Christian.
Right, two questions at the center of this case. Does the condition these dogs were found in, plus the manner in which they were being bred, does all of that amount to animal cruelty? And does the couple in question, should they ever own a dog again? Prosecutors playing video and audio.
You run that girl back to the dad? I'm my boy. Listen, that's inbred, but the thing is, those dogs are nice.
They are trying to prove this Davy couple was running a puppy mill from their mobile home illegally.
Is a license is required for breeding.
Even if it's just for a hobby?
Yes.
Detectives say Sean Broadnax and wife Danielle Palladino weren't just unlicensed to breed. Their dogs were seized back in September when authorities served a search warrant in their home, finding fentanyl pills and about a kilo of cocaine mixed with fentanyl.
There was feces all over the patio.
Explosive diarrhea.
Yes, diarrhea on the patio. And that dog's behind was covered.
Looks like there's a little bit of crowding in the cages.
Multiple law enforcement officers taking the stand Tuesday, questioned by the state and pressed by the defense on charges of animal cruelty against the couple trying to get their dogs back.
I'm saying the conditions in which we found the dog at that particular time were exigent to the fact that it arose to criminal activity to the point where we needed to rescue the dogs immediately from the facility and get them immediate veterinary treatment.
The couple in question declined to comment today. The trial picks up again tomorrow at 9 a.m. We are expecting the judge to make his final decision before noon. We'll keep you posted. Live in Fort Lauderdale, I'm Christian De La Rosa, Local 10 News.
Just when you thought you heard it all, a woman gets arrested for giving a dog some dope. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, that's what I said. You heard it right. She was arrested for giving a dog some dope. I don't know if she was trying to hurt the dog, make the dog sick or what, because it wasn't her dog, but she was arrested for giving a dog some dope. So check this out.
Police headquarters with story tonight, Sarah.
According to this report, Adam, the woman in jail fed the dogs dope, but police here aren't saying what that drug was. This is 53-year-old Tammy Burkhaw.
Apparently a woman who had given drugs, illegal drugs, to a couple of dogs, or at least claimed to have done that.
Police say Burkhaw was at a home off Southwest 10th in May and told someone she gave 2 dogs that lived there illegal drugs. That person called police.
She was still at the scene. Officers placed her under arrest, booked her into the Oklahoma County Detention Center on animal cruelty charges.
Burkhaw isn't the dog's owner.
There's a relationship between her and several other people there, including a male, and it was the male's dogs. It's unclear exactly if she was living there or what the exact relationship was between them.
According to this report, the owner found one of his dogs, a pit bull named Red, dead in his truck.
One of the dogs was found dead later. It had gotten inside of a pickup truck, and they said it had appeared sick for a day or two and then simply died. The other dog appeared okay, at least at the time.
We went to the home earlier today. No one was there, but neighbors say most people in this area keep to themselves. And we called the number listed for Burkhaw, but it was disconnected. Live in Oklahoma City, Sarah Smith, Fox 25 News.
Thank you, Sarah. And a legal team working to find justice for the remaining 2 survivors of the Tulsa race massacre.
Hey, the world getting crazy and crazy. Crazy and crazy about a minute. Now, this next brother, I guess he seen that Jeffrey Dahmer movie or whatever. They was smelling something a strong odor coming from the house. Coming through the walls. The neighbors was smelling it all in the apartments where he stayed at, coming through the walls. And smell it. The woman gonna tell you she smelled it for weeks. After that Jeffrey Dahmer movie came out, people can't smell nothing like that in their house when they in apartments and they know it ain't coming from their house and they know it's coming from somewhere else. People start paying attention just because of that Jeffrey Dahmer movie. Oh, what's that smell? Then they start thinking about their neighbors. Oh, but anyway, decomposing dog in the house. You know how long it takes for a dog to start decomposing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. How can you walk in the house? Only thing I can say, maybe he wasn't there from the time the dog died to the time the dog decomposed. That's the only excuse I'm going to give him for walking in the house, seeing, smelling a decomposing dead dog, and not putting it in the trash bag or whatever and throwing it out. I mean, hey, it just is what it is. It is what it is. What was he doing? Like, did he forget about it? I don't know, man. I don't know. But big salute to all the brothers down in the chat. Like I say, sisters down in the chat, y'all hit that like button up and check this video out.
I make this because it's coming, smell.
Myrna Ramos had to tape her back door shut. She says the smell coming from the apartment next door was unbearable, and it lasted about 3 weeks.
No good for me, no good, yeah.
She complained to maintenance. Brian Youngsman went to do a wellness check to make sure the person living there was okay.
I went in, it was just horrible conditions.
Yeah, what did you say?
And I feel that poor animal. Not much because of the fact that you could smell it would come at you. Yeah. But it was pretty bad.
He says he saw feces everywhere and immediately called Chelsea police. When they went in to investigate, they discovered this deplorable scene. A small dog visibly decomposing, empty food and water bowls, and weeks worth of mail stacked up in the mailbox. Police arresting the tenant of that apartment, 28-year-old Mossy William Ennis, and charging him with animal cruelty.
I know the dog must have been in there for quite a while because of the amount of feces and everything else.
According to the police report, other neighbors say they heard Ennis yell at the dog and heard it whimpering. Ennis appeared in Chelsea District Court and posted $500 cash bail and ordered not to own any pets.
You got an animal that's like your best friend. That's like a family member. To walk into that, there was no need for that. Yeah. You know, hopefully you need to put him in a doghouse and let him go through what that poor animal went through.
Now, according to police, the suspect claimed that he was subleasing that apartment and the dog was not his and he was not living there, but police could not find any identity for the person he claimed was living there. We tried getting in touch with the suspect, but were unsuccessful. Well, I'm in Chelsea. I'm Peter Eliopoulos, WCVB News Center.
Now let's get into a little bit of that dog talk. One thing I've been noticing, and still see it, a lot of these brothers, and you get in these dog channels, and you talk about brothers, you don't know if they active or inactive. Because you inactive, you're not sure what the next brother is, you see. But yet motherfuckers will get up here on these shows and like I always say, talk about this person, talk about that person, but yet don't know that person and don't know what situation that person is in wherever they live at. Now they can say, oh, Pelican, somebody will get up there and say, oh, Pelican Bay, you talk about, listen here, talk about the news. I only talk about what I'm getting off the news and what I've been through with my dogs. When I talk about another kennel, what I always do, I call the dogs Candyman. I'm going to say Candyman. I'm going to say Macho Buck. I'm going to say Buck. I'm going to say Yellow, Grand Champion Yellow, or this and all. Certain people you can talk about because they out the game, But if you don't know if the person out or in, you need to speak their name with ease because you don't know what you putting them people in. See, that's why when them boys was putting out them dog channels in the earlier years, they all had computer voices because they wasn't, trying to worry about all that stuff then. But now you get folk that get up here and don't be knowing what's what with people, and then they start saying their name. Oh, these people don't got champions. They the only ones. These the only ones with champions. This and that. This and that. And then you ain't see these people since the 90s or since the early 2000s. You ain't spoke to these people since the early 2000s. See, that's the thing about the dog game. We kind of getting screwed up. A lot of people want to play connected when they ain't connected. Because you spoke to a man before, hey, what's going on? Don't mean you connected. And that's the thing we're getting. A lot of folk want to make it seem like they got the connections, or they got these connections, or they was the man, or this or that. And when it comes to find out that they wasn't the man, you know, they get all upset. They want to bash. But that's the same thing I tell brothers, video after video. You know, you should have been making that name back in the days. You know what I'm saying? And doing that back in the days. At the end of the day, you know, it just shit. I mean, what can you really do? What can you really do? You know, because everybody don't move the same. Like I said before, you got people moving reckless on these dog channels, talking reckless on these dog channels. Don't care who they have up on their channel talking reckless. Brothers worry about you saying their name, but they don't care about you getting up there talking reckless. They like that. They hit the like button as long as you talking about something dumb, some fighting or this or that. As long as you don't mention their name, they hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? But reckless is reckless. You know, it just is what it is. The dog, what makes a dog man is more than just having how you got that dog, just that dog in your hand. It's about the whole program, the whole man, the dog, everything in general. You know what I'm saying? That makes that dog. You know what I'm saying? Makes that dog man a dog man. It ain't just the dog. Oh yeah, I got a dog, but you ain't got no character, but you got an alright dog. So at the end of the day, somewhere or another, y'all will part ways. You know what I'm saying? Or things won't go, you know, the way you want it to go. You know, it just is what it is, man. You know, we had Bo Jackson, we had Deion Sanders, we had Conor McGregor, we had Francis Ngannou. All of them got one thing in common: crossover. The crossover. See, a lot of y'all brag about being in that dog game that y'all wasn't even in anyway, but you still brag about it, you know. But to the ones that be hating, crossover. Come holler at me. Come to my world. You know what I'm saying? I show you I can do that. I show you I can stand in the corner of that square, let one go, a damn good one. Showed that plenty of times. Now come into my world, where we make them dogs do what we want to do, where we train them dogs. Step into that world. See, it's a difference between the ones that be talking that talk and the ones who be walking that walk. You see, you can talk that talk. You can be what you want to be on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You can be what you want to be, but come from behind that camera and let's see what them dogs do. You see, and like that boy said a long time ago. What your name is, fam? Oliver, Cane Corso man, Presser Canary man, was bragging about training them Presser Canaries, or bragging about training them presses he got and saying they wasn't a Mollywood, right? Saying they wasn't a Mollywood. But see, this is where he try to play brothers like they dumb at. You see, this is how them dog trainers try to play you like you dumb. The Cane Corso Presser Canaries he breeding, those are working line dogs that he breeding, working line dogs. Those not regular dogs. Grab a pit bull is what I want to see you do some training with, brother. Because I've been challenged you. You know what I'm saying? Because just a simple fact, you know, how a lot of brothers be acting. Brothers ain't humble. Can't ask a brother nothing when it comes to this training. Not them kind. You know? Not them kind. But yeah, I see slowly but surely you trying to bite off little stuff that I be doing. Slowly but surely. You wasn't doing no videos on Facebook talking about this and talking about that. Oh, Ronnie Oliver, yeah. Now what I want to see is you take another breed outside them Presser Canaries and do some training with it. Without it being a beef. You see? Because I'm that same folk that y'all should have helped when I was asking for help back in the days. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Y'all ain't show me y'all trained nothing yet outside of them ones that y'all raising. I done showed you I could touch anybody's dog and train. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference in folk out here. That's why I told y'all boys, step into my world. You know what I'm saying? You talking about something you reading in the damn magazine or the Sporting Dog Journal, and half of y'all wasn't living there. You know what I'm saying? Cross over. We doing it like Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders and them boys. Cross over. See, can you still be excellent? See, can you still be great? You know, keep your dog game on that high level when you cross over. Or will you just be a Rudy Poo, a peon? You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I don't get behind this mic talking that talk if I ain't gonna be able to walk that walk. Same thing I said. To all them breeders that's training they breed a dog and want to hate the Mollywogs. When I'm training my Mollywogs, oh, that Mollywogs, they can easily train. I tell you what, them Pressing Canaries easy to train. When they working dogs, train a pit bull that's not a bred working line dog. You understand? Because see, all them dogs working dogs, but some of them dogs are bred to do certain things more than other dogs. Pit bull ain't bred for that. You know what they bred for. You know what they bred for. But anyway, man, this ain't about him. This ain't about him. This is about them haters, all the haters. You know what I'm saying? All the haters, you know, talking about a Sporting Dog Journal. Talking about a story from 30 years ago. Willing to call a brother names and all kind of shit about a story from 30 years ago. But can't do nothing with these damn dogs. Can't do nothing with them. Granted, now everybody don't want to train a dog. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't want to train one, but I'm just talking to them haters right now. You know, specifically, my haters, specifically the ones that be saying all kind of dumb shit in them comments. You know, half of y'all probably ain't got no dogs, and the other half, you just wannabes. You know, the thing we trying to figure out is who you want to be. You want to be Supreme down there, Supreme Excellence? You want to be Hunt Down? You want to be PBK? You know, you want to be Mr. 216? We got to figure out who you want to be, because y'all some wannabes. You know, you want to be Eli or Eli Monster? Who you want to be? That's what we trying to figure out, right? Who they trying to be, because we done figured out, you know, they wannabes. But hey, you ain't going to get it but one place, man. You ain't gonna get it but one place. PBK9s give it to you like that, fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, at the end of the day, you know, you got the good dog brothers out there on them channels, and then you got the ones that can't be trusted. You know what I'm saying? The ones that can't be trusted. It just is what it is. Folk your friend one day, and then they turn and stab you for some clout and clientele the next day. You know? I've been told y'all, it ain't but so many stories you can talk about. So when you get up here talking about this dog stuff, have your shit already planned to think what you're going to do ahead of time. You're going to keep your channel going. So you don't have to talk trash about another brother dogs. Yeah, I told y'all a lot of Sambo stories, but I still got stories that I haven't got deep into yet if I really want to get deep into them. That can keep me going on without talking trash about a brother. And if I talk trash about anybody with Bo, it's because I did that. You know, with big kennels, like I said before, on my resume. But we ain't here to talk about that. Nope. We ain't here to talk about that. It's Veterans Day. Like I say, salute to all the veterans. You know, I'll salute to all the brothers that's just joining, becoming veteran, about to try to become a veteran. You know, hey, big up to everybody, man. Big shouts out to everybody, all the dog lovers, from one side to the other. From one side to the other. From one side of the country to the other. One side of the world to the other. You know, I'm going to give it to you the way I got to give it to you. Had to give you that South Australian story today. I'm going to keep giving it to you one way or another. But I ain't going to keep y'all here too long, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to hit that like button. PBK9s, y'all stay safe out there, stay legal, and I'm out.